So let's look at another application. This may also involve order of operations. So we have a metal strip that's being installed around a workbench that is 10 feet long and 2 feet wide. How much stripping is needed? So one of the ways to solve problems is actually draw out the relationship. Formulas can also be applied if you know what shape you're dealing with. So we all probably have a workbench on our job site, and we know that the surface of the workbench, the top of it is rectangular shape. So I'm going to kind of draw like a top view of our workbench looking above it, and it's going to take on kind of a rectangular shape. So in rectangular shape, we know these two sides are the same length, and these two sides are the same length. A lot of times, the longer sides are described as the lengths, so these would be represented by the same variable, and these would be described as our widths. So usually they're the same length if we're talking rectangles. So a metal strip is being installed around the workbench. So it sounds like we're putting some edging down on the workbench. So it sounds like we're putting stripping here, stripping here, stripping here, and stripping here. So we have to put stripping all the way around. So the question is asking how much stripping is needed. So I know that if the workbench is 10 feet long, it's a pretty long workbench. So it's going to be 10 feet this way. So kind of more like my desk. And then 2 feet this way width. Notice that in a rectangle, though, if this is 10 feet, this is 10 feet. And if this is 2 feet, this is 2 feet. So how much stripping will be needed? So if I add all those numbers together, I can kind of pick up on, it's 2 feet. I can pick up on 10 and 10, and it's 20, 22, 24. So I would need 24 feet of stripping. Stripping is needed. So 24 would be my answer to this problem. So that's the drawing out the picture, and using the facts given would help us find the missing answer, which is the distance around. Now, if you understand that the distance around an object is called perimeter, we could then use a formula. Notice that there's two formulas that we could use to find the perimeter. The one that I'm most familiar with is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. That'd be the formula that I'm most familiar with. But there's also the other one that says add the length and width together and then double it. So you could have added 10 plus 2 and got 12 and doubled it and got 24. I'm used to just doubling the lengths and doubling the widths and adding those together. So if I was using a formula, we would say 2 times 10 plus 2 times 2. And notice that we do have order of operations here where we'd have to multiply first and then come back and add. So 20 and 4, add those together would give us then this 24 feet. So you don't necessarily have to use a formula, but you are also allowed to use a formula to solve this problem. So when it comes to reading and comprehension, are you more visual or are you more driven by using math symbols? So math is flexible that way in solving problems.